Okay, come on to your back, please. And let's try our constructive rest before we do anything. So find a comfortable rest position, and that might be flat on your back with your knees bent. It might be stretched out long. And we're just going to breathe. That's it. Take a big inhale, big exhale. And we're just noticing any sensations that pop up. Notice how much of you is heavy on the floor. So maybe your pelvis, your shoulders, and your head. And notice where there's space. So there's probably a little space under your neck, under your low back. If your legs are stretched out, there's probably a little space behind your knees and behind your ankles. Take another big deep breath. And so we'll just use this as a comparison when we're towards the end. We might do this several times actually during our little lesson today, just to see what we notice. And then let's try laying lengthwise on the roller. So the easiest way to get into this position is to sit on one end of it. And then good luck getting back down. If you can just roll back onto your back without it escaping from underneath you. And then you might need to wiggle up or down so that your head, and depending on how tall you are, try to get your head and your hips totally on the roller. Yeah. Now, does this feel any different now that we've got roller under your spine? And let's go back to that breathing again. Focus on your pelvis. Take a big inhale, let your pelvic floor soften. And if I say some concepts or words and you're like, I don't know what she's talking about, you can always unmute yourself, ask me for help. Or some of this stuff, just play along with it and see, like, I'm going to figure this out eventually. I might not quite get everything today, and that's okay. Okay, so you're softening your pelvic floor as you breathe. You're letting your pelvis be really heavy. If you had a little piece of Swiss cheese over the top of your tuna melt, can you let your pelvis just melt onto the roller? Or does this feel like a lot of muscular effort to be here? And then come up to your ribs. Same thing here. Can you let your ribs sink and be heavy with each breath? Your ribs are getting heavier and heavier. And then come on up to your shoulders. And you could play with your hand position. You could bring your arms out to the side, palms up, palms down. Figure out what the nicest hand and arm position is to let your shoulders soften, be heavy. Soften your neck, soften your eyeballs. So what's the least amount of muscular effort to be here on the roller? And then let's do a little bit of movement of your arms and shoulders. Could you squeeze your shoulders in toward your midline? So your arms might even slide in a little bit on the floor. And then could you stretch your arms out? And if that doesn't feel good to have your hands on the floor, they could be hovering, or you can go get a couch cushion and prop up your arms. So I'm going to squeeze my arms in. I'm kind of pinching my shoulder blades into the roller. And then take a big deep breath and let your arms lengthen out. Gentle stretch. Yeah, squeeze in. You could even squeeze your shoulders in and up towards your ears. And at any point, if this feels icky to being on the roller, just come off and lay flat on the floor. You could squeeze your shoulders in and down. And this is like 20% of my maximum effort. And then release. Yeah. And then let's start to float your arms up towards the ceiling. Imagine you're holding a big beach ball. And your beach ball is going to float up, but you're trying to contain it. And then let your shoulders sink. I'm holding my beach ball. My beach ball floats up. And then I let it sink. I'll do one more just like that. Really easy. How much movement can you get in your shoulders? This time as your beach ball gets bigger, let your arms open. Let this be real easy. Yeah, we'll do that a couple of times. Open and closing your arms. So this is just an exploration of your arms and shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. Real easy does it. One more. And then let's try some circles, whichever direction you want to go first. These could be really tiny circles, maybe right over your shoulders. And slow. This could be big, where your arms go back by your ears, out to the side. The slower you go with these, the more information you're going to get. So for our purposes today, slower and smaller is going to be better than whipping around and doing a big old giant move. Now let's reverse. So whatever direction you were going, go the other way. If that was clockwise, this is counterclockwise. Circle. You could do a couple really tiny, like the size of a dinner plate. You could do a couple the size of a hula hoop. Yeah. Does this feel any different? Arms, shoulders. I feel a big stretch when I get to the side on my bicep, front of my shoulder. And then come back to that rest position. Take a big deep breath. And then just doing that little bit of stuff, do you notice any more open sesame across your chest and shoulders? Does your neck feel any different? Can you soften the front of your throat? Can you soften your face? Notice if there's tension down in your legs or pelvis. And each time we do this little check-in, it's another chance to notice where there could be maybe some unconscious holding in your body, some stuff that you don't really need to be doing right now just to be here on the floor. Let go of any tightness in your pelvis, back, neck. Yeah, take another big deep breath.